Are your Chinese starts last week? No speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let me put my hard hat on, go back outside, and see if these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know. Destination Crenshaw, your time is up. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and a lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local Black-owned businesses and, sadly, has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode, and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating Black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. There's an old truth in the Black church that the ear is a moral instrument, that what we are willing to hear determines what we're willing to do. For nearly 4 weeks now, a family in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, has been asking a simple question. An 18-year-old boy went out to Horn Island on the 4th of July with a group of friends. He did not come back. 2 days later, a park ranger found his body in the water. His name was Nolan Xavier Wells. And in the middle of this, in the middle of the autopsies and the attorneys and the grand jury, the noise, there is a recording, a call from a boat. And underneath that call, beneath the hold music and the engine and the wind, there are voices. Most of us heard static. My guest heard something else. Janetta Brantley, she goes by the name affectionately Netta, is an award-winning audio engineer, sound designer, and composer. She's the founder of Audio Done Right. She holds a bachelor's degree in music production and a master's in entertainment business from Full Sail University, and she has spent more than a decade in professional audio. More than 60 feature films, television series, and streaming productions carry her work on Max, on Amazon Prime Video, on Hulu, Peacock, Tubi, Investigation Discovery, WeTV, production sound, dialogue editing, re-recording, mixing, music composition, post-production supervision. She's done the whole chain. And she teaches. She has built up professional courses in sound design, film scoring, and audio post-production because she believes the next generation of engineers ought to know what she knows. Now understand what that means. This is a woman who spends her professional life pulling a human voice out of a wall of noise so that a story can be told. That is the craft. That is what she does every single day. And when this recording became public, she sat down with it. Not for a network, not for a paycheck. She cleaned it and she put it out. And she did something I want you to take notice of right now, because I've been listening and reading all of you all out there in Cyberland. She did not tell you what to think. She did not hand you a transcript and call it a verdict. She said, here it is, clearer. You listen. That is an act of respect for the family, for the truth, and for you. She joins us in this hour from Houston. Netta Brantley, welcome to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show.
Thank you for having me.
Netta, share with us a little bit about yourself and about your background. We have about 2 minutes before we come forward, but we're very interested in who you are, the person. We'll deal with the case after the break.
Well, the person, I'm somebody that's always been extremely passionate about music. And then when I went to school for music production, it was at Full Sail where they taught me that it's so much more to music than just what's on the surface. And so at that point, I realized how much I was in love with just sound as a whole. And so at my core, I'm literally a sound nerd. Everything about me and my passion is like driven through music and sound. And so that's why I do it. That's literally why it's my career. And that's like where I thrive in the most. And so, yeah. And I'm also someone that seeks equality. And, I'm just me at my core.
On the question of equality, though, you find yourself now over here in this justice space. I'm actually kind of amazed at how the crowd is really participating in doing detective work and how they have managed to put their skill set and literally donate it practically pro bono to the Wells family so that we can excavate the truth. You've done that more than most at this hour. Your thoughts about justice work?
It was something that I was passionate about at one time in my life. Because if I could be honest, I don't know how honest I can be on this platform, but I would love to just be completely transparent.
Please be completely transparent and completely honest. You're welcome to be on the story.
I am someone who has gotten in trouble with the law, and because of how I was treated, this was 20 years ago, because of how I was treated within just the system, the justice system, and I felt like my situation and the outcome of that was unfair. It was always in me to, just my passion for equality and justice has always been there. But because of my run-in it kind of prevented me from wanting to pursue further, law and things like that. And so at my core, that's also embedded in me. And so I felt like when I hear things, especially when they go viral, if I can help in any capacity, in any way, I'm going to dive in and I'm going to help by any means.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Netta Brantley is our very special guest on the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. She has unearthed something amazing that has turned the course of this conversation, certainly in the court of public opinion. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. More with Netta Brantley when we come forward.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. In this hour, our very special guest is sound engineer, Janetta Brantley. Netta, welcome forward to the show.
Hi.
Welcome back. Netta, I grew up in the 80s. We had a biphonic sound, a boombox that we used to listen to Rappers Delight. Some of us now have Beats and iPads and all kinds of different ways in which sound is presented to us by JVL or JVC. But sound means something to you. You took an interest in sound. And before we get to the case, share with us how you undertook your interest in sound.
Oh man, I give all that credit honestly to Full Sail. Again, I went for music production, but then when I started taking going through each course, that school is so fast paced and it kind of prepares you for the industry because the industry in general is fast paced. They introduced me to the sound design aspect of it and post-production work. And it was then when I realized, oh, wow, like I really love this. Like, I love that I can take a muted trailer and redesign the entire world there. I can eliminate certain sounds. I can add and introduce certain sounds. I can tweak and play with the dialogue. Where something is messy, I can clean it up. I just love how sound can influence, especially in film. Like, you can really become immersed in a visual when the sound and the audio is right. And I've always given that credit to Full Sail, because if it weren't for them introducing it to me, I don't think I would have ever really fell in love with it the way that I did.
So in a real sense, you are an expert. I mean, you are an expert in this area of detecting and listening to sound. When I heard the video, as millions of people did around the country and around the world, when the young man made the call to the tow company, we didn't hear what you heard. We simply heard the conversation and we kept it moving. It sounded like the narrative and the story that was being told was going to be the narrative and the story that was going to be told. But you hear the video and you sit in the quiet of your own space and you hear something else.
Yeah, and in part, I also do production sound as a sound mixer, as a production sound mixer, where, again, Full Sail taught me how to really tweak and train my ears. But then I'm being on set of multiple, maybe hundreds of productions at this point as the sound mixer and the boom operator. I'm, days and weeks at a time, I'm wearing headphones, I'm holding a boom pole, and I'm literally listening for distractions so that I can communicate to the director, hold for sound, plane, police outside, weather, the rain, anything, clicking, pops, humming from a refrigerator. And so I think those things is what makes me really enjoy sound as a whole, because being the production sound mixer and then also being that person who 9 times out of 10, I have to now work on that same project in post, and I don't want to have to do more work in post. So during production, I'm trying my hardest to make sure I'm capturing the best clean audio to eliminate having to clean it in post or fix it in post. That really, like, I really hold that dear. Like, I really take it serious.
Now, let me throw this out at you. There are, in my opinion, there are 4 courts that are at play here. The first court is civil court. Let's call that the Ben Crump category. Let him have that one. Then there's the federal court, and the federal process, which includes the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Mississippi. I hope they're listening today, because Nolan Wells's body was found on National Park Service land. Horn Island is federal territory. It is federal property. The state of Mississippi does not have jurisdiction over the activity on Horn Island. The National Park Service does. The National Park Police do. We've not heard from them yet. Hopefully, they're listening to our radio show today.
Hopefully.
And they'll catch up with an investigation that's at least 4 weeks behind schedule, because a murder has occurred at a national park. In large measure because Horn Island is known as an island where African-American slaves escaped and they swam to Horn Island for freedom. That's part of its historic designation, what occurred at Horn Island many, many decades ago.
Oof.
The third court is the Court of Mississippi, which Emmett Till's family knew all too well. So did Medgar Evers, and so did the families of Swerner, Goodman, and Cheney, and that, in large measure, is why on July 4th we are as suspicious as any other July 4th since the Declaration of Independence.
Facts.
But then there's this court of public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And what you've done, which we've never in the 250 sojourn of the nation had the power to do, is actually allow people in public opinion to make a judgment based on clear scientific evidence that you were able to excavate from this recording. This case has tugged at the hearts of every family in this country who has a child, regardless of their race, their sex, their class. Everyone is posting about it. And within the last 48, maybe 72 hours, your discovery has changed all of that. And we start with, first and foremost, how the story itself tugged at you, that you personally wanted to engage and make your contribution.
I think in part that just goes with just wanting justice. Again, it has nothing to do with race for me. It always had everything to do with what happened to Nolan. Like, he went out with some friends and everybody else made it home except for him. When I started posting about it, I never, not one time mentioned race. And when I did start posting about it, what was so baffling to me is that because I never mentioned race, it struck me kind of odd that a lot of racism and hate started coming at me as if I mentioned it, as if I blamed his friends, or, as if I did anything of that nature, when I was just stating, something is not right. Something definitely happened here from the minute they returned home to the deactivating their social media accounts, to the judge deactivating her account. Just everything, it just felt completely off. And that alone is what literally drew me to it off top. Nolan could have easily been my cousin. He could have been my nephew. He could have been family. He could have been a neighbor. And so just that alone literally just pulled at me from day one.
I think the cause of justice that you've served here does matter, because even in my introduction, I said, and when this recording became public, she sat down with it. Not for a network, not for a paycheck. She cleaned it. She put it out. She did something I want everyone to notice. She did not tell us what to think. She did not hand us a transcript and call it a verdict. She said, here it is, listen. And now there have been other versions that have come out basically from the same recording. And while they may not completely agree with the interpretation, which many of us have heard from many different angles, there are elements of the recording that are consistent with what you discovered that have compelled them to bring forward their own tapes, really as a form of validation.
Right. And it's what really stood out the most to me when I first listened to the audio. I literally had just woke up Sunday morning and grabbed my phone, saw that it was trending already, that the audio had been released. And so I clicked on it and I played it just literally like everybody else would. And when I played it as it was released. And I heard those things before I even cleaned it. And as I was listening to it, I started wondering, like, okay, I know I'm not hearing what I think I'm hearing. And if that's the case, and this has been released to the public, why isn't anybody doing anything about this? Why hasn't anybody been called in for questioning? Why hasn't anybody been arrested at this point? And that alone is what drove me to make a post about it, just letting it be known, like, as a professional audio engineer, I know what I heard in this audio and I haven't even touched it myself. And because I haven't touched it, I can't wait to actually touch it so that I can make sure that I'm not tripping. And that's literally how that even came about.
I want to play the full audio version that you posted, along with your rationale, your explanation, and the fact that you shared a process and your experience with our listeners. And I want to play it because it validates everything that you've said, and you deserve the credit for that. Why don't we run that tape?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come with? Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Hey, up! Shut the fuck up!
I'm
What'd
Jesse
you say?
Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the
Hey,
Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. We've been listening to some of the live audio that
it's
was
coming up.
first
We're just
introduced.
sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., and we were listening to some of the live audio, the raw footage that was initially presented from the case that had been filtered, had been cleaned by a number of different people. But the originator of that process is none other than Netta Brantley, who is our very special guest in this hour. When we do come forward, I am going to play the post that you did on Facebook, the entire post, explaining your process so that our listeners can fully understand the scientific nature, the thoughtful, very logical, methodological approach that you took to unearthing the data that all of us have had for 4 weeks, but you were able to excavate and share with us. I do want to ask you this question before we come forward. We have about 3 minutes before the break. Do you see this as a turning point in the case, certainly in the case for public opinion? I'm feeling stalled by the Mississippi justice system. We're all too familiar with that. And anyone who says differently has no read on history. They're waiting for some idea to pop out of Mississippi that's not popped out in decades. So that's not going to happen. It's only going to be because people like yourself provide the kind of expertise to this case that matters. That's beyond the press conferences, beyond the grandstanding, people who have been trained, who've given consideration to the evidence. And I'm still shocked at the idea that the federal government on federal property, a murder or a death has occurred, and there is no investigation by the National Park Service, as far as I can tell, leading this investigation for Horn Island National Park Service territory. Janetta? Janetta, I think you're muted.
I do feel like it's a turning point. I just wish something or somebody in a position of power would actually utilize it to do something in order to kind of spearhead or lead this case so that we can actually get the justice that we're all seeking. It's been more of a turning point for the court of public opinion rather than Nolan's family. And that's what's so frustrating to me.
I think frustrating to both of us is that there's not a parallel investigation. If there is a death on the White House lawns, a death at the Capitol of the United States, if there is a death at any national monument, it is handled by the federal government. It is a parallel investigation. In fact, they're the leaders of the investigation. But in this particular environment, this administration has turned over a murder investigation that should be in federal jurisdiction over to the state of Mississippi that has a very challenging history in solving murders involving African Americans and young white men who go out and seem to have a different take on questions of equality and fairness. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. We've got a lot to unpack with Sister Netta Brantley when we come forward. More on KBLA Talk 1580. She is the originator. She is the genius behind unpacking the video that has exposed a new truth. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. More on KBLA Talk 1580 when we come forward.
whether to seek the death penalty against Black singer David, whose real name is David Burke. A judge ruled there is enough evidence for the murder case to go to trial in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The first week of training camps around the NFL has had some disturbing news involving coaches. Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, one of the few African-American offensive coordinators in the NFL, is with his wife Mia in a Virginia hospital. Mia Bieniemy is in stable condition after being shot Monday in the couple's home by their 27-year-old son Elijah. The son has been arrested with no bail. San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan is in the NFL's concussion protocol after he was involved in a car crash. Shanahan has a concussion, a broken nose, and 3 broken ribs. Shanahan hopes to be healthy enough to return to work for the regular season opener against the Rams on September 10th in Australia. And Magic Johnson's Washington Commanders fired tight ends coach Ben Steele Monday after a DWI charge last week. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Number 14. That's where Talkers Magazine ranked Tavis Smiley on their heavy 100 list of the 100 most important talk radio hosts in America. Join Tavis weekdays, 9 a.m. to noon or 9 p.m. to midnight. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
In a world full of noise, one station keeps it real. KBLA Talk 1580, where the conversation goes deeper, the voices sound like yours, and the issues that matter most to our community take center stage. Progressive, powerful, unapologetically us. Whether you're driving through the city or tuning in from your home or office, join the public square. KBLA Talk 1580. Your home for talk that enlightens, encourages, and empowers. Listen live on our free KBLA 1580 app, on our website at KBLA1580.com, or on your radio dial at 1580 AM.
Unapologetically progressive.
You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. We don't tell you what to think, just what to think about.
Let me put my hard hat on, go back outside, and see if these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know.
Destination Crenshaw, your time is up. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and a lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local Black-owned businesses and, sadly, has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
As we go a little something like this.
Hey, it is me, D.L. Huger, and I am thrilled to be heard weekdays in my hometown on KBLA Talk 1580. So check out the D.L. Huger Afternoon Show weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a whole lot to talk about, let me tell you.
You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. King Quality drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the me. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Our very special guest in this hour is Janetta Brantley. She goes by the name affectionately Netta, is an award-winning audio engineer, sound designer, and composer. She's the founder of Audio Done Right. She holds a bachelor's degree in music production and a master's in entertainment business from Full Sail University, and she spent more than a decade in professional audio management and direction. Netta, welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show.
That's me. Thanks for having me.
When I first reached out to Netta and she agreed to do our show yesterday, and just before the program, she said that she's getting literally hundreds, maybe many hundreds of invitations to take this subject matter to podcasts and to platforms. And then she stumbled upon my text message inviting her to our show. And she paid my father and my family indirectly the highest possible compliment. She said, "That's a name that I know, and that's someone that I trust." And so I handle her with the full respect that my father would have handled you if you were on his nationally broadcast radio show, because you've earned that. Netta, once again, welcome forward to the show.
Thank you.
Netta, I saw your text message, your Facebook post, where you described, and it's been viewed hundreds of thousands of times, the process by which you went through to excavate, if you will, these voices. Can you, without me having to play that tape because I have you live, can you share with us what that process was?
Absolutely. So I basically pulled in the same exact audio that was released to everybody. I think it was WLOX or something like that, but it said MDMR releases the Nolan Wells audio or something like that. So I ripped that from YouTube and extracted the audio only, pulled that into Logic Pro X, which is a Apple-owned digital audio workstation. With that audio, I was noticing that the WAV file kind of was not even kind of, but the WAV file was somewhat split to left and right. So when I listened to it originally, I heard the music and the dispatcher Vicky coming from the left channel, and I heard the caller and the background noise coming from the right. And so I was like, oh, okay, so it kind of made it easier for me to further split that, mute, one channel and then focus in on everything else. So once I split that, I saved the raw copy, made a duplicate, then I made a left channel, and then I made a right channel, and then I made another duplicate just to keep and maintain the original audio. Once I soloed just the right channel, which was the caller in the background, not Vicky the C-Tow dispatch, but just the students, the college students, what have you, on the boat. Once I did that, in my mind, I had automatically knew there was nothing I was going to do that was AI related off top, because although I myself utilize AI for things that could help just speed up my workflow in other cases, I wanted to take this one so much more serious, and I just refused to go any AI route, because AI can literally introduce artifacts that I'm not a fan of. You can automatically tell that it's AI, and so many other things. And so the first thing I did when I isolated the those two channels and only stuck to the callers is I inputted the EQ. I put a channel EQ on that channel, and then I started sweeping. I took a certain frequency and started sweeping to find where the body of the dialogue in the background could actually be heard and where it stood out the most. Once I was able to identify that frequency of where that background dialogue was coming from, I boosted it a little bit, kind of cued in on the slope, which is basically I kind of focused in, narrowed in on just that while trying to keep everything else where it was. And once I was able to identify that frequency, then I chose another frequency, did the same thing, sweeped all the way across until I heard the more of the body of that conversation in the background, and did the same thing. I boosted that, narrowed in on that, and then eliminated all the other frequencies around it. So a high pass filter, low pass filter to cut out everything else and focus on only what we were hearing the most. From there, I then implemented a gain to boost the gain, but also turning down the gain on the caller's dialogue so that when he came in, he wasn't like super loud or super peaking, so we can still hear he's there, he's talking, but we also hear what's going on in the background. After that, I exported and bounced that audio file out, and then I imported it into Adobe Audition, which is another digital audio workstation, because my years of experience, I know that some digital audio workstations can do some things better than another. And so when I pulled it into Adobe Audition, I was able to basically do some vocal enhancements there, eliminate some more of the noise that we heard that was still kind of present. Like, I don't know what the name is, but it was some type of feedback or just some type of noise. I eliminated that in Audition and then exported it back out, sent it back to Logic, did like a light compression, and that was it. I did nothing more than that.
Netta, you laid out a perfect path for whomever is in the engineering sound business to be able to follow your path. And immediately after you had, if you will, a file, you're a human being like all of us are. You were alone with information that no one on earth had at that moment. I've read somewhere that you played it dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and then you had to step away from it. Mm-hmm. Share with us what you felt like in that moment.
I was at a disbelief. There was so many emotions running through my mind, because I approached it as an audio engineer, not as someone who was trying, like I'm searching high and low to find guilt. I wasn't, my mind and heart was just on, I just want to hear what's being said in the background. So me approaching it as an audio engineer, I wasn't really listening for dialogue other than what was actually standing out. So some of the things off top I heard without even trying to hear it, like, damn it, Bart. At first, I didn't know if he was saying Nolan's really dead now or No-No's really dead now, but I did hear, damn it, Bart, Nolan's or whatever is really dead now. And at the beginning, I know for sure, I heard can we cover it up? Yeah, I thought all about that. This was before I even introduced the gain, which is basically just turning it up a little bit, not by volume, but by gain. But my wife was with me, next to me almost the whole time, and I'm not really sharing with her what I'm hearing. And I wanted to do that to not put something in her ear, like, confirmation bias, but I wanted to just use her ears and use her mind. So I took the headphones off and I was like, hey, can you listen to this right quick? And she was like, sure. She put them on. I played not even the first 7 seconds. And she was like, wait a minute, go back. Go back. Did she say you killed him? And when she said that, I kind of looked at her like, wait, what? What did you hear? She was like, yeah, go. And then she pointed directly at the point in the WAV file saying, go play right there. And I played it back. When I played it back, I heard it loud and clear. You killed him. And I was like, I am shocked you heard that, because I wasn't listening for that. But lo and behold, it was there. And everything was just gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, disheartening, and everything else.
Janetta, let's go to break real quick. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. More with Netta Brantley when we come forward.
While you're stuck in traffic, we can at least bring you up to speed on the news of the day. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. only on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. 10 Toes In serves as a mentorship and domestic violence prevention program. They support, educate, and empower couples during and after incarceration. They assist male returning citizens to re-enter society successfully and to help them maintain a healthy relationship with their romantic partner. They offer a mentorship support group for formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In teaches its Intimate Relationships 101 curriculum at male prisons throughout the state of California. They host sister support group meetings for women who are intimately involved with incarcerated and formerly incarcerated men. 10 Toes In is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. To access their services or make a donation, please visit them online at 10toesin.org or find them on Facebook or Instagram. They are healing lives through relationships. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds. Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
Show Janetta Brantley, award-winning audio engineer, sound designer, and composer. Founder of Audio Done Right. She holds a bachelor's degree in music production, a master's in entertainment business from Full Sail University, and she spent more than a decade in professional audio. Netta, welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show.
Happy to be here.
Netta, let me ask you another question, but before I do that, please finish the thought you had just before we went to the break. You were making a point, a description of what was taking place.
It was just the reality and the realization of what I was hearing. I was floored, flabbergasted. I can't even think of the right emotion to put to, I can't believe I just heard what I heard. One, my heart instantly broke all over again for the Wells family too. And I cannot believe, of all things, first and foremost, why hasn't no one been arrested? 3, because a lot of that stuff, again, I heard before I even touched the audio. I heard this in the same audio that was released to the world. The only thing I did not hear loud and clear was the, can we cover it up? Yeah, I thought all about that from 2 females. And at the end, the damn it, Bart, which I did hear the damn it, Bart, before I cleaned it. I just didn't hear what he said after that, which was, Nolan's really dead now. My heart sank.
Netta, let me probe for a moment if I can, because I see that you're having an emotional moment, and I understand that. You heard things that we did not hear. What else did you hear? And I guess I'm speaking to the question of insight. For example, we heard initially the audio between the gentleman on the boat talking with the tow company. We didn't hear the number of people on the boat. You might have heard that after you separated the voices. How many people were on the boat, Netta?
From what I remember hearing, which was Will, Warren, Wyatt, Bart, Nolan, of course, because they screamed his name. It was so loud and clear. They screamed his name, and 2 female voices. So I indeed did hear, just based off of that, 7 people, in which he actually did say to Vicky, the CETO dispatcher, 7 people. And then he followed up and counted. I don't know if it was him or someone else, but they said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, they counted after he said it to the dispatch. But the names that I did hear loud and clear were Warren, Wyatt, Will, Bart, and Nolan. I did hear 2 separate females' voices as well.
So when the tape was first released, all we heard was the individual on the boat calling for a tow. And so that's the narrative that we've had, that the boat was leaking, that some guys went back and others didn't. But your audio dissection, if you will, excavation of the conversation has more people on the boat than the popular narrative.
Correct. Definitely.
I'm struck in this moment. I'm struck in this moment in part because before law enforcement, by the way, have you been contacted by law enforcement?
No, I have not.
Has anyone's counsel reached out to you for an opinion, for a copy of your work and your process for determining that conversation?
No, they have not.
Have any authorities in the state of Mississippi reached out to you regarding these matters?
No, they have not.
So, how about on the civil side? Have you heard from Ben Crump or Reverend Sharpton or anyone as they make their civil case?
Nope.
Now, I'm going to make that connection for you. But we're certainly grateful that you're here at KBLA Talk 1580 with us. Anything else that you might have heard that we missed, other than you were able to count the number of people and participants on the boat, that Nolan was on the boat? Is there anything else that your ears heard that we did not?
Other than what I've already provided, you killed him, he's already dead. Is he really dead? From the female, the yep, and the yep was so, I don't even, nonchalant. It was just yep, like, and then like it was again, if it weren't for my wife, I wouldn't have even analyzed the end part the way that I did at the end of that 37 seconds. The Nolan's really dead now. Why would you say really dead now? Like, what were you doing beforehand to even say those words? Like, you're disappointed in Bart because he took it too far. Somebody, you know, it went too far to even have uttered those words. Nolan's really dead now. That was all just way too much for me. Hence the reason why the first time I only released the first 37 seconds, because I was like, yeah, no, I need a break from this. Let me just release what I said I was going to release and then worry about the rest tomorrow. Was my process.
We understand your sentiments and your feelings. Maybe a final question. Was it a male or a female voice who said, can we cover it up?
It was a female voice.
It was a female voice that inquired about the idea of a conspiracy.
Yes.
which is an inchoate crime, which means you don't have to necessarily participate in the crime itself, or a murder or manslaughter or whatever ultimately is charged based upon the evidence. You heard a female voice recommend the idea of a cover-up.
And followed by another female voice saying, yeah, I thought all about that. Two
and
females.
you can distinguish two different females making that, having that conversation. So both are in the conspiracy.
Yes.
Yes, I thought all about that. So there's someone who gave thought to the idea of covering it up before the question was asked by another female. So this female who says, yeah, I gave thought about that, is not just an ancillary player to this conversation. They are engaged with serious scienter or knowledge of what's taking place. This is hard for me. It's hard for the country. I hope you come back. And if you feel free, anytime you want to come back to KBLA Talk 1580 and talk with us about these issues, even if you just want to come and vent. And if people are putting pressure on you, send them our way. We'll take the pressure off of you because we're going to stand with you through this very important process. I've asked all of our listeners historically on our show to take the last 2 or 3 minutes and to offer us a word of hope. And I can only imagine that a word of hope from you, Netta, at this hour comes from a very deep and a very special place. Can you offer us a word of hope in 2.5 minutes?
I do. It's even hard to even say it because it's always the latter, but I genuinely hope justice is served. Like, I hope the family don't give up in their search. I want the same thing that they want and the same thing that millions of others want, and that's justice. I want everybody to remain strong. I want everybody to not allow the cyberbullying and the keyboard warriors that think we're going to back down. I want everybody to stand 10 toes down behind each other because as a community, we are all we got.
Netta, I'm so proud of you. Our country's proud of you. Justice seekers are proud of you. And while this may be a difficult moment for all of us in our country, you've done a tremendous service to the nation's justice system, to the idea of justice. You've honored the ancestors. You've honored not only those of us who've struggled with racial hatred and discrimination, but in this moment, while we quote and think about Emmett Till and we think about Medgar Evers, Swerner Goodman and Cheney, 2 Jews and a Black, killed under circumstances still unexplainable in Mississippi. 2 Jews and a Black, 2 white guys and a Black, died together in a hole in Mississippi. And so when I reflect upon the men and the women, regardless of their race, their sex, or class, you find them in the exact same place with you. I've seen white guys and white women and conservatives and liberals all coming together asking for justice for Nolan. We are grateful to you as a station. We're grateful to you as a country for setting us on this path. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Our very special guest has been Janetta Brantley. She is the audio engineer, award-winning sound designer and composer, and the founder of Audio Done Right. She's been our very special guest for the last hour. We wish her well, and we wish your lovely spouse well as well. Thank you, and God bless you. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You've been listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. When we come forward, Barbara Arnwine will be on the grind with Barbara. I'm going to opine about some of what we just heard when we come forward. I hope you'll stick with us. More on KBLA Talk 1580 in just a moment.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump is facing criticism over his order to place warning signs outside the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History. A history teacher says history doesn't need a warning label and has been protesting outside the museum.
We're a great country. We're good and we're ugly too. And if Americans know that story, they'll be comfortable.
Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democrats are exploring legal options to challenge the order. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says the planned deportation of Haitian migrants is a mistake, warning it could hurt the state's economy and put lives at risk. More than 300,000 Haitians are set to lose temporary protected status after a Supreme Court ruling cleared the way for deportations. And prosecutors are expected to decide this week whether to seek the death penalty against Black singer David, whose real name is David Burke. A judge ruled there is enough evidence for the murder case to go to trial in the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The first week of training camps around the NFL has had some disturbing news involving coaches. Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, one of the few African-American offensive coordinators in the NFL, is with his wife Mia in a Virginia hospital. Mia Bieniemy is in stable condition after being shot Monday in the couple's home by their 27-year-old son Elijah. The son has been arrested with no bail. San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan is in the NFL's concussion protocol after he was involved in a car crash. Shanahan has a concussion, a broken nose, and 3 broken ribs. Shanahan hopes to be healthy enough to return to work for the regular season opener against the Rams on September 10th in Australia. And Magic Johnson's Washington Commanders fired tight ends coach Ben Steele Monday after a DWI charge last week. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let me put my hard hat on, go back outside, and see if these procrastination Crenshaw construction crews have shown up yet. I'm saving space for grace, but if these trucks don't show up soon, well, you already know.
Destination Crenshaw, your time is up. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 and Bethesda Temple Church invite residents, churches, businesses, and community leaders along the Crenshaw corridor to join a vitally important community conversation Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. For years now, this community has been living with unkept promises and the devastating effects of the unfinished Destination Crenshaw construction project, leaving residents, businesses, and churches to deal with myriad problems, including the loss of parking, restricted access, traffic congestion, and the lack of emergency vehicle access when it matters most. For years now, Procrastination Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local Black-owned businesses and, sadly, has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode, and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating Black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. Justice delayed is justice denied. When Martin Luther King Jr. wrote from the Birmingham jail in April of 1963, borrowed a line from a distinguished jurist to answer the white clergyman who had counseled patients. Justice too long delayed is justice denied. He was writing to men who believed that waiting was a neutral act. He knew better. He understood that delay is not the absence of a verdict. Delay is a verdict. 24 days have now passed since a United States Park Ranger, a federal officer, found the body of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells in the water off the northwestern tip of Horn Island, Mississippi. He had gone out on the 4th of July with a group of friends. He did not come back with them. There is still no cause of death. The state autopsy is sealed. The district attorney has said the case will go to a grand jury. No arrests have been made. And when the investigation is complete, he has not said when that will be. 4 courtrooms will decide what this death means. Only one of them is open for business. The first courtroom is Mississippi, and its record is not a matter of opinion. In September 1955, an all-white jury in Sumner deliberated a little over an hour before acquitting the men who murdered Emmett Till. Months later, protected by double jeopardy, those men sold their confessions to a magazine for $4,000. Medgar Evers was assassinated in his own driveway in Jackson in June of 1963. 2 Mississippi juries deadlocked in 1964, and Byron Della Beckwith was not convicted until February 1994. He lived his entire life, 31 years, and only because Myrlie Evers refused to stop asking, James Chaney, Swerner Goodman, and Swerner and Chaney were murdered in Neshoba County in June of 1964. Mississippi brought no murder charges at all. Edgar Ray Killen was finally convicted of manslaughter in June 21st of 2005, 41 years to the day. That's the arithmetic of Mississippi. 31 years, 41 years, never. The second courtroom is federal, and here's where history cuts in an unexpected direction. When Mississippi refused to prosecute Neshoba County killings, the United States did. 7 men were convicted in 1967 under the federal conspiracy statute in United States versus Price. The sentences were disgraceful. None served more than 6 years, but the principle was established. When a state will not act, the federal government can. That courtroom was the backdrop. It's the reason that the Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crime Act was written in the first place. That backstop has not been dismantled. Since January 2025, roughly 250 attorneys, about 75% of the lawyers in the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division have left. Entire sections, including voting rights, have been reduced to a handful of lawyers or none. This past January, the chief of the criminal section and several of his deputies announced their departures, the same unit that prosecuted the officers who killed George Floyd. The division has been abolished. It has been emptied, which is quieter, and for this administration, works just as well. But the door, this is the catch for those media personnel who are listening, and you need to ask the question. In the White House Situation Room, you need to ask the question in the Oval Office. You need to ask the question in the press briefing. The door is not locked. It is merely unattended. Horn Island is not Mississippi land. It's owned and managed by the National Park Service, congressionally designated wilderness within the Gulf Islands National Seashore. Nolan Wells died on federal property and was found by a federal ranger. Jurisdiction over a death on a federal enclave does not run through the Civil Rights Division. It runs through the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Mississippi and through the FBI, which has already assisted the county. Someone should be asking those offices what they intend to do. There is a further, harder truth about that island. In December of 1863, at least 8 freedom seekers reached Horn Island and were taken aboard a Union gunboat. The National Park Service has designated a site on the network to freedom. Black people once swam toward that shore for their lives. A black teenager on the 250th anniversary of the nation did not come home from it. The third courtroom is civil, and this is the one that's most often overlooked. Criminal prosecutions require proof beyond a reasonable doubt and a prosecutor willing to seek it. A wrongful death action requires neither. It carries a subpoena. Sworn depositions, compelled discovery under a preponderance standard. Every young man on that boat can be placed under oath separately with the courtroom reporter. And according to our previous guest, the two young ladies, that's how families of Trayvon Martin and George Floyd obtained records no prosecutor produced. Ben Crump knows this. It's in his home field. And last but not least, the fourth one, which we have to keep adding pressure to, the court of public opinion. It has been the Black community's most reliable venue for 70 years. That's why KBLA is so important. Mamie Till Mobley did not win in Sumner. She won in Jet Magazine by opening her son's casket and refusing to let the country look away. That courtroom is now open to any citizen with a laptop. A Houston audio engineer named Janetta Brantley took the released Cito recording, stripped away the hold music and the engine noise, and made the background voices audible. She's published the file and declined to tell anyone what it says. That restraint is the whole point. Public opinion has no rules of evidence, which is its power and its danger. The same tools that clarify recording can also manufacture one. Netta Brantley is not the witness. The recording is the witness. She is the one who made it speak. And the family in Ocean Springs is still waiting on the officials that we pay to do this job to listen. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. More with Barbara Arnwine right here on Tenacious Tuesday when we come forward.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. King Folly, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. It's Tenacious Tuesdays for those of you who are joining us. And our regular contributor is none other than attorney Barbara Arnwine. We called it On the Grind with Barbara Arnwine. She's the president and founder of the Transformative Justice Coalition and is internationally renowned for contributions on critical justice issues, including the passage of the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1991 and the 2006 reauthorization of provisions of the Voting Rights Act. Currently, she serves as co-chair and facilitator of the National Commission on Voter Justice, the Millennial Votes Matters convenings, and the Voting Rights Alliance. She is the head of, or was the head of, the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law from February 1989 until June of 2015, and holds the honorific title of President Emeritus, born in Southern California. California love. Barbara Arnwine, graduate of Scripps College and Duke University Law School. Barbara, welcome forward to the show.
It's great to be on the show. How are you today?
Barbara, thank you for having me on your show earlier today. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
I had a wonderful, wonderful time. Barbara, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
And I need you to put your lawyer hat on. We had a wonderful guest in Janetta Brantley, who uncovered and excavated the conversation that took place between the tow company and one of the alleged defendants, potential defendants in this case. Her contribution is an amazing contribution to where we are in this process. Wouldn't you agree, Barbara?
Well, tell me about what she found.
Well, she found the conversation behind the
right.
The conversation. The Nolan, is he dead? Is he deceased? Can we cover it up? She found this conversation. She is the person,
about this.
And she did find this work.
Wow.
She's one of those silent voices that has one of the millions of pairs of eyes that are on this process, watching every single detail. Quite an amazing contribution to this dialogue, right?
I think it's quite a contribution. And think about it. I mean, it makes me go back to George Floyd. Remember that young sister who took the video? And without that video, there would have been no real evidence that they killed him, that they, crushed his neck, by putting that knee on the neck. And remember, she took it, even though she was not a journalist, even though she didn't know George Floyd, she just saw something horrendous and took the time to be a recorder, a witness. And her witness changed history. And I just, it sounds like, here we go again. A Black woman taking her initiative, saying, I can do this. I can get to the bottom of what this tape actually says. And doing that, just taking her creativity and putting herself in jeopardy. Because the sister who did the George Floyd, she didn't get laurels for it. She got questioned. She got, treated badly. Even when I saw Ben Crump yesterday, he was really still reeling from all of this evil, accusations and threats that he's under. Folks, it takes an act of courage to step forward, to be creative, to actually do hard work, and to put your name out there with it. I just, want to thank her. I want to let her know that she's not alone. Because there will be moments when she will feel like that, and let her know that we're here for her.
Amen.
And we got her all the way through this, right?
Mm-hmm. Barbara, there's a couple of quick questions that I have for you that came out of that interview, and then I know we'll move on to other subjects. She heard something that none of us heard a month ago when the video was released. I mean, she could hear a different conversation. I asked her specifically on the program, what else could you hear that we couldn't hear? And she said, there are 7 people on that boat. She's able to determine the voices, including 2 female, and the other 5 individuals who are on the boat. And that says a whole lot about the science. It says a lot about what it is that she can see that we cannot see.
Yes.
Because she's a sound engineer. I mean, when the video first came out, I heard the phone call about the tow company. I even went for the narrative that the boat's sinking. Of course, ultimately, they did not need a tow. Ultimately, it may not even been the boat that they were on. But what is crystal clear is that what she was able to discern while the call was on hold, the tow company was still recording.
Yes.
And so when the young man began speaking, there was a conversation that was taking place that was inaudible. And using her scientific techniques and processes, she was able to bring forward a conversation that, but for her, we might not have an evidence at all, certainly in the public court of opinion.
You know, it happens repeatedly. That's why I want everyone listening and watching today to know that you should use your phones. You should use your witness, your eyes, to record something that you see that you have questions about. And if you just recorded something and all of a sudden something develops around that incident, look at your phones. Go through, see what you have, because there's more to this story. And there's more evidence out there that we don't have because people have not brought it forth. They're scared. You know, when you and I were listening to on my show, you heard what Jaribu said about Ocean Springs. MAGA territory. Threats. Black bodies. Black folks killed throughout the years and unaccounted for. Folks, we got to understand what's going on here. But there's more. Folks, please, please, always be a witness. Always be on the front line. Always fight for justice. This is unfair that his family has to suffer like this, has to be threatened, have to be called, you know, all kinds of race baiters, have to be, you know, just criticized when they, you know, brought up a loving child and did everything they could for him. And now there's no answers, but we're going to get them. We're going to get
Barbara, let me ask you this question.
I know that
as the former head of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under law, you understand this question better than most. Horn Island is National Park Service territory. Nolan Wells was found by a National Park Service ranger, an officer of the National Park Service, an agent, if you will.
Yes.
This investigation should be handled by the Southern District of Mississippi's U.S. Attorney's Office, not local prosecutors in a county in Mississippi. Barbara, I want to know how troubling that is, that we've not heard from the National Park Service, as far as I can tell. And given that it comes from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and given the president's relationship with the Department of Justice when it comes to his political friends and how he avoids cases and then charges and challenges Comey and others, using the Department of Justice. It seems to me that the White House press corps, in light of this event having taken place on federal territory, that the President of the United States, given his control over the Department of Justice, that he is not at liberty to avoid a question over the status of a federal investigation into the death of Nolan Wells.
And it's very telling, right? Because the Mississippi governor, all the officials in Ocean Springs and in the county have lined up to say, no foul play. Nobody has been saying, let's get to the bottom of this. Let's find out what really happened. let's bring all our resources to that purpose. Now, your point's well taken about the National Park Service. Everybody watching. What have you been dealing with for the last month? You've been dealing with the darn Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. And the National Park Service runs that pool. How long has he
The National Park Service is putting more time in the reflecting pool than a murder investigation. Wow.
I mean, exactly. That's my point. And they've been dragging them out. How often has he dragged the poor little National Park Service out in the public to make statements, trying to collaborate what he's been saying, which is madness. But it just shows you priorities, right? It just shows you why the whole movement of Black Lives Matters, what resonated so strongly with people because of the fact that these folks don't believe Black Lives Matters. They really believe this will blow over. That's what they believe. They give it time, it'll blow over. Black folks won't pay attention after a while. They'll be off to some other cause, some other issue, some other incident. But folks, our tenacity is everything. And I am as determined as you are that we're going to get the truth here. Nolan deserves it. His parents deserve it. But more important, future generations deserve it. Because we don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. We talked about the irony of the July 4th celebration, that Nolan Wells lost his life on July 4th. It's the same July 4th that an image emerged out of Washington, D.C. of the Patriots Front on a metro train with an African-American woman feeling quite uncomfortable. That's an understatement. That the spirit energy of the behavior. I'm not even, well, no, I'm not going to not say that, because we'll let the facts play out where they may. But I think everyone knows exactly what the spirit energy was probably at Horn Island under those circumstances. But I'm not going to tilt the scale in favor of my thinking. But I do want to say this. I find it mighty ironic that on July 4th, the sister in New York is having a problem. On July 4th, this brother loses his life. And it defines the event that all the fireworks in every city don't compare to the narrative.
And the patriotic
part of the historic memory.
The Patriotic Front chose July 4th to do its evil. Folks, you know, when you look back on the Mother Emanuel massacre, where Dylan Roth killed killed 9 church leaders during a prayer service. Folks, one thing people don't understand is they know our history. It turns out that attack correlated totally to the Denmark Vesey, insurrection. It was, they understand our history better than we do, because they learn it in an adverse way. You don't know, if you haven't been on the dark web, if you haven't watched what these white supremacist groups are putting out, then you are in trouble. Because part of our ability to protect ourselves is knowing what era we're in. And we're in a dangerous era of white supremacist hate. It's growing, it's not subsiding, and we've got a president who emboldens these people.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. We're on the grind with Barbara Arnwine. More with KBLA when we come forward.
It's afternoon drive time with Jesse Jackson Jr. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump paid tribute to Senator Lindsey Graham at his funeral service in Washington National Cathedral.
A true American original who left us much too soon.
Trump called Graham a beloved friend and a giant of the Senate, reflecting on how their once contentious relationship grew into a close friendship. Tuskegee University's new dress code is sparking debate online. Starting this fall, the HBCU will ban bonnets, do-rags, bedroom slippers, and revealing clothing in several campus spaces, while requiring business attire for professional events. President Dr. Mark Brown says the goal is to prepare students for the workforce, though critics call the policy cultural policing. And the International Black Theater Festival is back on in Winston-Salem for its 37th year. The celebration runs through Saturday with Felicia Rashad honored Monday night. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The first week of training camps around the NFL has had some disturbing news involving coaches. Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, one of the few African-American offensive coordinators in the NFL, is with his wife Mia in a Virginia hospital. Mia Bieniemy is in stable condition after being shot Monday in the couple's home by their 27-year-old son Elijah. The son has been arrested with no bail. San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan is in the NFL's concussion protocol after he was involved in a car crash. Shanahan has a concussion, a broken nose, and 3 broken ribs. Shanahan hopes to be healthy enough to return to work for the regular season opener against the Rams on September 10th in Australia. And Magic Johnson's Washington Commanders fired tight ends coach Ben Steele Monday after a DWI charge last week. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
You have something to say, and we want to hear it. KBLA Talk 1580 is engagement radio, not outrage radio. A place where your hopes, your frustrations, and your ideas are welcome 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Real talk, real people, real Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580, the station that sounds like the city looks. Tune in on your AM radio dial at 1580. Download our free KBLA 1580 app or listen live on our website at KBLA1580.com.
Unapologetically progressive. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. 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 King Volley drops the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to me. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Destination Crenshaw is behind schedule, years behind schedule. Residents, businesses, churches, artists, and other stakeholders have questions, and they deserve real answers, not just promises. Empty promises poured concrete. If they did, this project would have been open years ago. This week, join us at a community town hall to talk about the delays, the timeline, and what happens next for the Crenshaw Corridor. This public hearing is your chance to get on the record and speak directly to the people making these indecisions at City Hall. Join us this Thursday, July 30th at 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. That's 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Dr. Nee Cordelai-Corte will be instrumentally involved in the program, and so will most of the questions, and I think a speech may be even delivered by none other than Tavis Smiley as the community engages what's taking so long to pour a little concrete in our neighborhood. I know something about that on the south side of Chicago and in the south suburbs. All we're asking is that we pour a little concrete, make our neighborhoods look like everybody else's neighborhoods. Our very special guest is none other than Barbara Arnwine on KBLA Talk 1580. She is the president of the Transformative Justice Coalition. I'm so honored that she's here. Barbara, there's so much going on, and I know that we've been spending a considerable amount of time on Brother Wells. This story, yes, we're going to keep our feet on the fire on that. But Barbara, you bring the street heat. You share with us what's going on in the country. We've got two final segments. Take us there.
Well, there's a couple things, folks. What do you think the president's approval rating is? 72.
We think it's -2. Is it -2?
That's about what it should be, but he is down. His disapproval rating, people, is 60%.
Wow.
60.
Wow.
60. New poll.
Has there ever been a president at 60%, Barbara? Disapproval?
Nope. Can't think of one. 60%. The only people supporting him is this little 35% supporters. And 4% said they ain't even sure. And I'm like, poor people. Because they have no idea what's going on. The bottom line is that you have one of the most unpopular presidents out here spending billions of dollars a day to bomb Iran, threatening to bomb other countries, running around here celebrating how they have cut people off of SNAP, cut people off of Medicaid, Medicare, cut people off of their other health related insurances. People, how are we letting him run our country when he is this unpopular, doing things that are this detrimental to our people? He even has a revolt. Get ready, everybody. Get ready. There's a revolt in the Senate. Who controls the Senate? Who controls the Senate?
He did last week.
All right. There's a GOP revolt in the Senate. GOP, his party, is revolting against him in the Senate because he went on a rant of his rages this morning and said that and you're going to appreciate this, said that the Senate should not go on their August recess until they pass his SAVE Act. They should stay there and go nowhere. Now, folks, I done learned one thing from being in D.C. That you can change a whole lot of things, but don't tell Congress that they can't have their August recess. I mean, with him? Where does he think? Where did he get this idea that he, quote, oversold the nation on the idea that they can pass the SAVE Act when they can't? And that he has, he's mad. So are, quote, other senior senators. So they're in revolt right now. In the GOP against Trump in the Senate.
Barbara, share with our listeners. Barbara, share with our listeners the SAVE Act, what it does, because we have a lot of new listeners today. What it does and how detrimental it is to democracy.
Folks, it's evil. It's wicked. What it attempts to do is to change the laws for how you register to vote. It says that you could only register if you present your governmental, your passport or your birth certificate. Number one. Number two. And the problem, folks, is that Black folks, we've gone over this before. How many Black folks what percentage of Black people have a passport? Try 34%. 60-something% of us have nothing that even looks like a passport.
And the idea that you get a passport means you have to buy one or pay for one. And that's the equivalent of a poll tax. It's not like you're going somewhere. You're not going to the Bahamas or to Jamaica. You're getting a birth certificate to vote, which is a poll tax.
And only 53% of all Americans, period, have a passport. In the South, 60% of all Southerners do not have a passport. This law could block millions of people, birth certificates. I won't, okay, everybody, we're talking right now. How many of you can go and just put your hands straight on a birth certificate? How many of your people, your family, your friends can put their hands on their birth certificates right now if they had to do it in the next 10 minutes? How many? The reality is that to get your birth certificate, you have to appeal. You have to, file papers, and you got to pay. You got to have the internet connection, know how to go online, make the request, and pay the fee. It can be $41. It could be $141. So it's meant to deny millions of people the ability to register. Now, remember, our biggest problem isn't that people are out here trying to register willy-nilly. They don't, our fight is
I'm going to keep this conversation going. Barbara has a small technical difficulty, but I do want to share with you this. She's spot on. The SAVE Act is a poll tax. It is a form of discouraging people from voting even before the election occurs. And even if they are unable to get a passport, the idea that there is even a conversation that a passport may be a requirement to register and vote, it's already discouraging people from participating in the process.
And not only that, when you go to vote, they're saying that you got to produce ID that identically matches your birth certificate. So all these 62 million women out here who are married and have taken their husbands' names out of respect, out of unity as a marriage, they are in trouble because when they show up to vote and their maiden name is Jackson, their married name is Adams, they're in trouble. And all they can do is file, they would have to file an affidavit, and anybody in a state like Louisiana and other states that have affidavit voting, that's not an automatic approved ballot. That ballot can be challenged on the basis that it's an affidavit ballot. Folks, we are that is sexist. We've talked about it's racially discriminatory because very few people of color have access to these documents. Plus, we're living in an age where natural disasters have wiped out hospitals, where a lot of databases don't exist, where if you're older and elderly, you may not have been even born in the hospital. Folks, it's wicked, it's evil, and it would change your abilities. The other thing it does is that it would restrict mail-in voting. They hate mail-in voting. 45 million people use mail-in voting.
Barbara, when we come forward, we're going to talk about mail-in voting as one of the restrictions. Yes. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You're listening to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. We're going to talk about mail-in voting, some more problems with the SAVE Act, and then we're going to have a word of hope from Barbara Arnwine. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. More on KBLA Talk 1580 in just a moment.
While you're stuck in traffic, we can at least bring you up to speed on the news of the day. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you feeling the heat? LADWP can help you stay cool this summer and save money. Through the Cool LA program, eligible customers can receive instant rebates of up to $275 on new portable, window, and wall air conditioners. Shop the Cool LA Marketplace today and beat the heat and save. Learn more and apply at ladwp.com/cool-LA. That's ladwp.com/cool-LA.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt? Angela was. She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $80,000. Felicia was having health problems, got behind on her taxes, interest and penalties were adding up. She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $15,000. Civic Tax Relief is a professional tax negotiation firm that can protect you from the IRS. If you're getting collection letters, call Civic Tax Relief for a free consultation. They will go to work helping you discover all the relief programs you may qualify for free. James owed the IRS $37,000. Civic Tax Relief represented him against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, he did not owe the IRS anything. If you are in trouble with the IRS, call Civic Tax Relief for your free consultation now. 800-200-2257. 800-200-2257. Get a free consultation and real tax relief. Call 800-200-2257. 800-200-2257.
In a world full of noise, one station keeps it real. KBLA Talk 1580, where the conversation goes deeper, the voices sound like yours, and the issues that matter most to our community take center stage. Progressive, powerful, unapologetically us. Whether you're driving through the city or tuning in from your home or office, join the public square. KBLA Talk 1580. Your home for talk that enlightens, encourages, and empowers. Listen live on our free KBLA 1580 app, on our website at KBLA1580.com, or on your radio dial at 1580 AM.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You deserve a treat, a $10 bill credit treat. If you get an LADWP paper bill but go online to pay it, stop! Break up with your mailbox. It's time to go paperless. With paperless billing, bill reminders come straight to your inbox. You can access 7 years of past bills in your online account, and you don't have to deal with paper clutter piling up. It's a win for you, your time, and the environment. $10 bill credit for new LADWP paperless billing signups. LADWP.com/paperless.
Now back to more of Jesse Jackson Jr. on KBLA Talk 1580.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show. King Folly, drop the beat. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the me. Come on and talk with me. Come on and listen to the me. KBLA Talk 1580. Download the app.
I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. Welcome forward to the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. The president of the Transformative Justice Coalition is joining us once again on Tenacious Tuesday. Barbara, how can we support your work? Let's start there, and then we'll come back to the SAVE Act. Barbara, can you hear me? Okay, we can support Barbara. Yes, I sure can. I know we're going to go to tjcoalition.com. How can we support your work, Barbara?
Yes, you can go to TJ Coalition and make a contribution. And I'm asking people, please, if you have $15, make that contribution today. We want to train 25 young people to be voting rights advocates. We've already trained 700, but we want to put a new class out there because the Gen Z are becoming, more and more a part of the electorate. In fact, in 2028, every single Gen Z born person is eligible to vote based on their age, at least. And so it's important for us to understand that they are one of the largest demographics for voting in the country. So we want to train more Gen Z leaders to be out there, to be contributing, like so many of our graduates are now. They're working for groups like the League, they're working for the NAACP, they're working for local voting rights groups. They're just in there, running, organizations. Like one of our Gen Zs right here at this hotel I'm staying at is their night manager, one of our graduates. So they're highly successful, highly innovative, highly knowledgeable because we taught them. So please, we want to train in September a class of 25 more young, amazing people. If I got more money, I'll train more. But right now, that's my goal. So please go to tjcoalition.org. Thank you.
tjcoalition.org. Now listen, if my dad were living and he were here raising money for Barbara Arnwine, he would tell some of you all to just take off your pinky ring, the one with the diamond in it, and throw it in the collection plate. Take off your fur coat. Take off your Stacey Adams shoes and your alligator shoes and your Gucci belt and your alligator belt. And go a week or two without a conch. Go a week or two without putting some conch in your head, and give a contribution. We're just asking for $15 to the Transformative Justice Coalition so we can train 25 young people in that generation who can help us register and move voters in the correct direction for the midterm elections. Barbara, we were just talking just before the break about the SAFE Act, and you were giving us some final thoughts on it. I did not mean to interrupt you, but we've got to pay the sponsors. Barbara, your final thoughts on the SAFE Act, and then
no. Yes, two things, people, about the SAVE Act. The other things that they're trying to do is on mail-in balloting. They're trying to tell the USPS that it cannot forward any ballots for people from states that have not given over their voter database to the Department of Justice. 17 states have sued to stop the Department of Justice from trying to penalize them for not turning over their databases, and they won every case because there's no basis for them to have this information. They have no right to invade your voting privacy. The other problem with that, folks, is the hidden problem, and I'm going to put it out there, is that they're trying to create a national ID. And remember, if they create a national ID and make that a requirement for every single thing, all they can do to stop you is just take your national ID off the list and you don't exist. People, we can't do that. We can't stay with that. So the new SAVE Act in this current version includes a demand or requirement under criminal penalty to turn over those databases, and for the USPS to not be able to send a mail ballot to any election official if their state that has not been certified and turned over their database. Desperate they are to get you. The last thing is that it leaves unprotected. Just not fair. The people want to help us to make our democracy work are being punished. My word of hope. I got so much hope. Today I am, like I mentioned, I'm here in Nashville. I'm attending the National Bar Association meeting. I look out at the audience for our afternoon session on civil rights, voting rights. There's a table of young people.
Something was intermittent. She was going in and out.
Over. After it's over, one of those leaders who was at the table comes up to me and says, "You may not know me, but I was one of the people you trained. Thank you. I'm a rising law
Amazing.
1L, as they say.
Amazing.
And I was just I was so happy from 2023 class. And so people, they gave me hope because they could have been anywhere, but they wanted to be in that room to find out how they could be the most effective voting rights leaders in this country. I love that. Thank God for all the hundreds of people who were in that session trying to figure out how they can become election protection lawyers, how they can help educate their communities, how they can make sure people are able to vote. It gave me hope. It always does, because nothing in this world gets better unless people come together for the good and fight for it. I saw your brother. I saw you.
How's Jonathan doing?
Here, and I saw Yusuf.
You saw Yusuf.
And
fantastic.
He came in from Paris, and then came to us. And then also I saw C.K. Halford, of course, your board chair.
Oh, wow.
The Rainbow Push Coalition it is. So it was when you're around good people, energy. You get energy from good people. You're always feeling bad. You've been around somebody. Cut them loose. Cut them loose right now. Because that's not what you should be feeling. You feel recognized. You should feel loved. You should feel embraced. You should feel reinforced, affirmed. If people aren't doing that for you, cut them loose.
Let me just say this as we prepare to close. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., but there are a couple of takeaways from our program today that matter. One, we need to support the TJ Coalition. The TJ Coalition, that is the Transformative Justice Coalition, tjcoalition.org. Let's leave a donation and a contribution for Barbara Arnwine and the great work she's doing on behalf of all of us. Also, the National Park Service. They're investigating. They've indicted an Olympian.
I know, is that
defacing the reflecting pool. It didn't happen. He has no interest.
Which he didn't do.
And then tearing it apart. He didn't do that. But on the other hand, the same National Park Service is not at present investigating a death investigation on Horn Island. That's a real priority problem. And U.S. Attorney Ms. Shapiro in Washington, D.C., who's chasing around people looking for paint jobs and who might be defacing the reflecting pool. How about a little help on Horn Island for the Nolan Wills family? They need justice at this hour. I'm Jesse Jackson Jr. You're listening to Jesse Jackson Jr. Show on KBLA Talk 1580. See you guys tomorrow. More when we come forward right here on KBLA. Thank you, Barbara.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton.